Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood.
All right.
Feeling blessed.
What is up, everyone? I am extremely excited about today to get to know you. We've got one of my favorite people of all time, Miss Makenna. What is up, Mac? How are you?
I am doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's really awesome not to just get to talk to you, but to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in over a year.
I know, I miss your face. I'm missing your beard.
Ah, well, seriously, like I don't say that just sarcastically. Like you're one of my favorite people. You've always got something positive to say, and so I'm excited just to get to interview you and let other people get to know you a little bit more. So let's just start off by doing that. Just kind of tell everybody your name and just a little bit about yourself.
So I am Makenna Hunt. I think y'all have already heard from my brother Mason. He is my youngest brother. I also have an older brother named Miller. If you're at our church, you see me all the time. I am a senior-ish in high school because I'm homeschooled, and so technically I'm done with my senior year and we're kind of just cruising through. Technically I'm already in college. I've been in there for 2 years. So yeah, my grade is just very confusing. But yeah, that's me.
Well, I don't want to get kind of too far down that trail, but I really think your story is pretty awesome. I mean, to kind of go from where you were just a few years ago is like, hey, I'm just a freshman in high school to literally within just a few years, you were able just to complete all your classes and now like basically finished with a little bit of college, right?
Correct. So I began homeschooling my ninth grade year. I went to Brooks up until middle school. And so as soon as I started, we went pretty full force. My ninth grade year, I completed all of my ninth grade courses, but starting my sophomore year, I really was trying to get a little bit of ahead and, get some dual credit hours under my belt. And so my junior and senior year, we decided to be dual enrolled at Northwest Shoals. And so I finished up high school middle of my junior year and while I was still attending Northwest Shoals. And so I am graduating with 2 almost full years of my basics done, which is very exciting. It's really nice to know that I won't have to take probably the most boring classes you can my first 2 years at UNA. So it's been nice. It's exciting. I love Northwest Shoals. I am the biggest advocate for them, probably. I tell everybody, get your basics at Shoals. Get your basics at Shoals. Like, I just think that they've been amazing to me. So, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. My life has basically revolved around church and school since my ninth grade year.
Well, I think your hard work's really paying off though. I mean, seriously, like you would normally just be a typical teenager fixing to just graduate high school, dealing with all this. But essentially, you've already accomplished that. And I guess what most people would call like a 2-year associate's degree, you would have completed that if you weren't, extending out your education. So I think that's awesome. And when it comes to education, you just got some really awesome news. You want to share that with us?
Yes. So I am the recipient of a STEM scholarship, which is through UNA. It was given to them by the National Science Foundation, and it awarded me $25,000 to go to UNA, and it's a God thing. Number one, I applied for it way back in November on a whim, had no idea that I would even be in the running because I was like, this is for the kids that have like 35s on their ACT, like the crazy smart people that you can't even talk to because they're like way too smart and they make you feel dumb. But anyways, I applied anyways. And about 2.5 weeks ago, I got an email saying that I got an interview through Zoom with all of these people who were going to decide whether or not to give me this interview. So that alone was a little weird, but I was still like, I went into the interview thinking, this is still like, I just don't understand. Like, this can't happen. This is impossible. And then sitting in the parking lot, picking up a curbside order because of Corona, I saw the email congratulating me that I'd won, and I started crying. My whole family started crying as soon as I told them. But it's a huge honor. it's a huge God thing. And so now I'm entering into UNA with all of my tuition paid for, combined with all of my other scholarships that I received before that too. And it's just, there is a weight lifted off of my shoulders, to say the least.
Yeah, well, I think it's very well deserved for sure. So, hey, what are you going to be? What kind of classes? What you majoring in at UNA?
So my major will be in biology, and because I have plans to pursue a physician assistant degree, which will be obviously in the future, but that is the overall future career plan. So getting my biology degree is just the first step in a very long road that I have ahead of me. But it's exciting. I love biology. I fell in love with it last year, actually, at Shoals, just taking one class. And after that, I knew that that was the route that I wanted to go for my undergrad.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, it may be a long road, but I think you've already proved it. You got the capability just to knock it out pretty easy. So good luck to all that for sure.
Thank you.
Well, hey, tell us what have you been doing in your downtime, if you've had any, because obviously you've been taking care of a lot of schoolwork. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been doing my online courses, of course, which was a huge, huge leap. And not even because online courses are super difficult to understand. It's just difficult to go from being in class to online in a span of about a week. So it was a learning curve for a lot of my professors. So I've been doing a lot of school. I've been outside a lot because we've had some really beautiful weather. My mother has taken on, a few projects, which I feel like everyone can say that. So been with her through those. I feel like both my brothers are just working all the time, so I don't see them as much. I work too, but I work at a pharmacy, and so I'm just down to 1 day a week, so I don't work that much either. So I probably had the most downtime-ish out of all of the kids for sure, but it's really just, it's been a blessing because of having to do school online, but it's getting a little tiring of constantly being in the house.
Yeah, well, I totally get that. Of course, everybody kind of knows our upcoming circumstances. So a lot of this has been really good for our family, to have time together. But it has been a little just awkward, and so I think everybody's in that same boat when it comes to that. One of the questions I've really enjoyed asking to our students is, because of this, just the immediate, this kind of stop of everything that we kind of knew in the moment. We've been able to reflect now over the last few weeks. So can you tell us maybe what's like one thing out of all that you would say, man, I've definitely learned not to take this part of my life for granted because of all that's going on now?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a lot, but I have missed church so much. And I think it's because when I go to church, that's where my people are. That's where all my friends are. That's where all like my kids that I hang out with are, that's where my family really is. And then my family, we go to church as a family. We serve as a family. We work there as a family. And so I've just missed having that community around me. I miss going to my mom's, Sunday school class. I miss singing in the praise team. I miss all of it, really. And so that's probably been the thing that, to understand that there are some people that have to live their life not being able to attend a church and have that body, in a physical building. I will never, ever take that for granted again.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's something special about that community that we're able to develop because, essentially outside of your family and your job, if you are part of a church community, like that's the top people that you see in your life on a consistent basis. And so when it completely stops, you just, all of a sudden you realize how important that piece of your life really was. So that's awesome. And that also speaks a lot about who you are too, as well. So, hey, last question, as we kind of wrap everything up, share with us what your favorite Bible verse is and explain to us why.
Okay, Bible verse. Let's just do like chapter maybe, because Romans 8 is probably like one of my all-time favorite passages in the Bible, because first you have talking about life through the Spirit, then you talk about, the glory that we have coming to us in heaven, and then you're talking about being more than a conqueror in Christ, and it hits on so much, and it tells you so much about the role that the Holy Spirit plays in our life, and it's just, I mean, I just encourage whoever is listening to this, go read Romans 8 because it changes your life every time you read it. So, but yeah, that's probably one of my all-time favorite passages ever. So I couldn't pick a verse out if I could try. I just couldn't.
Yeah, well, hey, that's perfectly fine. I totally agree with you. I mean, Romans 8 definitely kind of encompasses just about everything that we could share with someone, about our life and who we are and why we're that way too. So, oh man, well, Mackie, seriously, like I personally want to just sit here and talk to you all day,
I know.
but I can't because we've got a few more Zoom calls scheduled up. So let me just say that you are awesome. Keep encouraging and being an influence on people like you always have been, and hopefully I get to see you soon.
I know. I hope. I miss you so much. Tell your family I said I miss them a lot too.
All right, will do. Thanks, Mac.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us on this Get to Know You Zoom. And until the next one, take care.
Leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there is no way you're around it. 'Cause every